So I would make a list of these responsibilities that weigh on you and really identify
Mm.
what ones can I delegate to them.
How do you put systems together? Because I sometimes have a hard time with knowing like how to implement these systems and how to put them
Right.
together.
Right. Okay. So we can talk about delegating and how to do that effectively. Um, First, I would say make a list of the responsibilities you feel like are weighing on you,
Hmm.
and then you got to go through them and identify what is something only I can do. I could not teach anyone to do this.
Right.
It's got to be me. There are some like that. But then with the ones that can be delegated, I ask myself this question, and more applicable when all of my kids were home. Now that I'm down to just, I will say one and a half, because I have a senior who is gone all the time working, and but she is still at
Yeah.
home. But anyway, um so it's a little bit different now, but when they were all home, I would ask myself, who is the youngest one in the family that I could train regarding this? And it was really important for me to ask that question, because otherwise, what do? What I did before I started asking myself that question, give the responsibility to the oldest,
Hmm.
the most capable, the one who will do it without complaining, and they'll
Right.
do it right away. They're the last ones that need to learn how to do these responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's the ones who complain that need way more work,
Right.
right? And so I'll even tell my kids sometimes if they complain about something, I'm like, you know what, honestly, that's a red flag to me that I need to have you do this more,
More. Oh, yes.
longer, more frequently. So we're going to continue this right now until I see an improved
Hmm.
attitude.
Attitude.
And the next time with it, if the attitude's not good, I'm going to have to give you extra, because it is a symptom of,
Right. Because then it's a heart issue. It's not just an
absolutely.
issue of being able to actually do the work.
Yeah. So I would make a list of these responsibilities that weigh on you and really identify
Mm.
what ones can I delegate to them. And then when you're talking about well, okay, let's continue with delegating for a second. A lot of times we feel like I can basically teach them this, and then okay, now they know, and now it's on them. But that's really not how it works. That's not how we work either. It's not like God teaches us something one time and then we got it, and that's a realistic expectation. Instead, training, what I literally did while the kids were growing up, um, as I gave them chores to do, I assigned myself that right now is my chore training time. So we
Mm.
were
Oh,
doing
wow.
chores at the same time,
Yeah.
and I am going to each one and training them different aspects of their chores. So they're seeing me work, but I am working in a different way than they
Hmm.
are. They are doing the chores and I am training the chores. So the first time I teach them a chore, I'm the one doing it and showing them, talking, while I'm doing all this. This is why I do it this way, and this is what excellence looks like on this, and that kind of thing. So I'm doing the talking and the train and the doing
Yeah.
of the chore. Then I'm going to say, like, okay, now let's do it again. And you're going to do it. And I'll talk you through it. So now they're doing it. And then I'm going to have them do it again. And I'm not going to give them information. I'm just going to observe, and then at the end, we'll go over it. So now I have just really thoroughly taught that. That is very different than if I, you know, kind of teach them how to brush their teeth, for example.
Right.
And then I come back and there's a messy sink from having brushed
Right.
their teeth. Whose fault is that? It's my fault that I did not teach them
Hmm.
how to clean up, that important aspect of it.
Yeah.
So partly we need to train more effectively. And then secondly, if we don't follow through well, if we don't follow up well, then there's a guarantee they're not going to keep doing it to
Oh,
a good
yeah.
standard. Follow up is essential. And follow up is praising. We praise
Yeah.
what we want
Yep.
repeated. Yeah, and then it's also, of course, if it wasn't with excellence. So anyway, that's how to hand off a chore. Let's talk about systems for a minute. It is easy to feel like, okay, yes, I need to start having more systems. And so we try to implement a whole bunch of systems with our kids at once. And all of us are overwhelmed. And we can't
Right.
remember all the rules that go with this one. What does excellence look like in this? I don't know. And so, really, when you make that list, identify what is the one thing that is tripping us up the most as a family, that is causing more chaos and less harmony, or that is causing me more stress? What is the one thing? Let's start with that one thing first.
Mhm.
And maybe it's when you get home from co-op, all back, shoes go off the feet and they go in this basket right here, and backpacks get unloaded and put in there, the
Mhm.
stuff in them gets put in the right spot, and our lunch bags get taken apart. Maybe that's the one system that we're going to add for the next 2 weeks,
Right.
or whatever. At a pace, we have to add things at a pace that is actually doable.